A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel. This is the world of inner work, and if you're here right now, it's not a coincidence. Via your intuition, you call yourself to this content, and you're simply using me as a tool, as a medium to go through something that you yourself are a vibrational match to. You may or may not resonate fully. In case you have questions, you can get a personal session or get into therapy with me. All information is mentioned in the description box. The intention of the messages is to create a space or a portal that can lead to epiphanies, which lead to a pathway to a quantum leap. However, in the world of inner work, we must always remember that we take responsibility of our own well-being and lives. Thus, it's our duty to do inner work and surrender to Source. So let's get started and let's find out what Source wants us to know. So in this channeling session, I am being shown that the divine masculine, the one who possessed the divine masculine energy, the polar divine masculine energy, while they were with the feminine, with the one who possessed the polar feminine energy, at that point in time, because of the strong intuition, the divine feminine had made certain predictions or had said certain things to the masculine, which had at that point in time created the feeling of denial, anger, or even mockery. Maybe they just felt that whatever this divine feminine is saying to me is just all bullshit. It's all crap. It's hogwash. It's woo-woo stuff. Or, all this stuff is just said, just for some reason. Maybe it's a kind of spiritual ego, or it's some kind of ego massage. Also, the divine feminine could have warned the masculine that you should not do this, it will not turn out to be good, and that might have also evoked a sense of like anger or frustration in this person's mind. But cut to what this channeling is telling me, cut to few years later, what is happening over here is that the masculine actually had a lot of practical experience, and via the practical realization also, the masculine energy is, and this is a collective reading, so it could resonate with a lot of people. I'm picking on to the energy of some specific individuals here who are giving me this information. So this person with polarized masculine energy, who was not being too emotional or running away from emotions or running away from certain things because they were fears, is now realizing that everything that the feminine said was actually 100% true. Like whatever, because at that point in time, they were so angry with all the decisions the feminine was making, or the way feminine was behaving, or the way feminine was acting. And despite all of that, the feminine was very humble. The feminine was still very loving. Even though there was so much denial by the runner, or there was so much non-acceptance by the runner, like, no, this is not correct, you're wrong, you're doing the wrong thing, you're saying the wrong thing, I don't agree with this, and along with this, there was also so many misunderstandings between the both of them. I'm not saying completely the feminine is perfect. The feminine energy also had to do some kind of inner work, and in some other department, the feminine will realize that they should have accepted the masculine in a different way, or maybe explained things to them in a different way. Like they are also learning certain things, how to deal with a person who is logical, or how to deal with a person who's not that high on emotional detailing. So they have also learned it by meeting other people, other karmics. But here in this channeling session, because the intuition part belongs more to the feminine, only because of the detail orientation, the curiosity level, the emotional understanding is higher in feminine energy, and intuition is connected to our emotions, our gut. So because of that, the feminine was able to, with her expanded awareness on spiritual things or on the soul consciousness, she was able to give a broader understanding of things to him, to the masculine energy. Now the masculine energy could be in a man or it could be in a woman. So technically, actually, no one should feel bad, because a lot of people go through these role reversals as well. So now what the masculine is going through is a feeling of deepened connection This person, whosoever I'm channeling, is recognizing and realizing the truth that was spoken by Divine Feminine, and that understanding has led to the connection becoming strong between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. He feels a stronger bond based on trust, respect, and shared understanding. Also, this realization can inspire the Divine Masculine to embrace and integrate their own feminine energy. I am being shown that they are able to recognize certain qualities and they are becoming more supportive and understanding. This person is able to recognize the importance of balancing the masculine and feminine aspects within themselves and in their relationships, and it's also leading them to have more faith in inner work, psychic abilities, intuition. They understand that their body is not just the only reality, they have an energy body also. So earlier the masculine always looked at the feminine like in the sense they have a physical relationship or they have a worldly relationship, but now the masculine is realizing that they have a very deep spiritual connection. They both are connected to the spiritual realm, and he as in the person, the energy is feeling greater resonance with the universal truths which this person was in denial of for a long time. And they feel that they are not just guided by their family members or parents or society, but if they surrender, they are also guided by a higher power. Before all this happened, before all this sense of healing or integration happened, the masculine also went through a lot of regret and guilt because they had previously dismissed and disregarded the Divine Feminine's insight. So now this person is going through a feeling of regret or guilt for not recognizing the truth earlier. They also realize that the impact they had because of their actions or lack of understanding was very painful for the feminine. The feminine had to also suffer because of their denial or their not understanding, but that's how they were programmed. The reason why the masculine should also be forgiven is because the masculine wasn't even aware. The feminine was their only window of opportunity who took them to this world, to this new world, So they never knew, and now that they've started understanding it, as much as this masculine has acted as a catalyst, the feminine has also acted as a catalyst in expanding their awareness and making them more humble. Because the masculine energy feels, the Divine Masculine feels that its own limited perspective was actually the barrier, and it was making them so egotistical because they were not acknowledging the wisdom and insight of the Divine Feminine, and they were so closed to it, they were so distant from it, that they were feeling like, this is all of these things. Like there are multiple things, many things that have actually being shared by the feminine, and the masculine was rejecting them or denying them outright, flatly denying them. So many things, with time have started popping up. Like, okay, this was correct. Oh, I should have done this also. And in some cases, it's just a feeling, like the feeling. They feel more than how they were feeling earlier. And the karmic entanglements have shattered them. The karmic pain has shattered them. It has broken their ego. It has led them to their ego death. And this has also led to their healing and growth. This realization that the masculine has now, that the feminine was right all along, has opened the door to healing and growth for Divine Masculine also. They are reflecting on their own behavior completely, like from beginning to end, beliefs, patterns. And this person is seeking to transform and evolve to align with the truth that they have discovered. They may be getting into therapy, they may be getting into some kind of energy work, because they feel that this is the real thing. Or it could be possible, I'm being shown a masculine who was extremely attached with the concept of divine counterpart, like being with a divine counterpart in the physical. And maybe it took them time, say 1 year, 2 years, and they were always blaming the other person. and the other person did everything for this one. Their partner is being shown doing everything in their power, in their capacity, whatever they could, but the masculine now is like still unhappy. So maybe 2 years back or 3 years back, they wanted their partner to live in with them, move in with them. At that point in time, due to multiple reasons, it could be visa, it could be passport, it could be money, it could be just getting permission from family members, or it could be some other issue. Maybe education was going on, studies were going on. Things did not happen. It did not work out. And now, after all this wait, finally, it has happened. It has come to fruition. But still the masculine is not happy because some new things have come up, some new challenges have come up. So, this is happening because technically, internally, this person is not happy. This masculine, they are so logic driven or so desire driven. They just want the feminine to just be like a puppet all the time. They are so, not able to understand that there are many things, many factors that have to be considered before making a decision, and nothing happens overnight. And still, when things have worked out for them, they're still not happy because the pain, the suffering, the misery is coming from within. There are so many wounds inside this person, but they look at the feminine and they blame the feminine for all the wounds, and that is where the whole problem is happening. So my dear friends, all of you beautiful soul, this channeling is also talking about the masculine finally learning to align with the higher purpose they have. Like all this while they were so attached to the materialistic things, they were so attached to the ego, they were so attached to constantly, blaming and wanting things their way, that now they are experiencing a renewed sense of purpose. They are feeling very aligned with their higher self or their spiritual path. They also realize the importance of working as a team, being a co-creator, being a collaborator. This person now wants to create a life with the divine feminine. Maybe they never really recognized the divine feminine. Maybe they had this false concept about the divine feminine. And I'm also being shown another case here, that there was a person in their life who was very nice, very beautiful, and this person was from their own region, from their own country, maybe their own region, their own country, somewhere nearby only. But this person had a notion that their counterpart or their partner has to be someone exotic, someone from somewhere else, only then they are spiritual. I mean, they measured spirituality with the person's location. Not to forget one crazy thing, that they themselves are from that location and yet they are spiritual. So maybe they left this person, this beautiful feminine energy that I can pick on, for a karmic person, hoping and thinking that just because this person belongs to such and such region or such and such country, this person has to be extremely spiritual, has to be extremely gifted, has to believe in God, has to, just because they go to the temple, they do some religious activities, all of that jazz. This person must be into indigenous metaphysics, this person must be into devotion, this person must be into spiritual ascension. They assumed all of that by just looking at certain things which were very physical in nature, certain physical qualities. They assumed all that. And now they are constantly thinking about someone else they had left behind, and they had rejected that person only for some stupid reason. And their ego was so big, or their attachment was so big with the spiritual ego, because this person is being shown to me as someone who has been into spiritual stuff. So now they have developed a spiritual ego, and they've started thinking that people who come from this country or that country, or people who have this caste or this creed. So spirituality or spiritual connection with God is something that can be in any person, in any place. Of course, in the West, certain things have, and it's not their fault, certain things have been given to them via programming. But East is also equally programmed, and they have their own notions and their own understanding of things. So there are flaws everywhere. There are flaws in the Eastern world and flaws in the Western world. And now the time frame that we are all born in, this is a transition time. We have to unite with each other. We have to like pick up good things from one another. Easterners have to pick up good things from the Westerners. Westerners have to pick up good things from Easterners and make it one whole, united, one love kind of a situation. Because even, in Indian subcontinent, there have been so many godmen who have done so many wrong things. Some are in jail right now. And same is with the West. When I study about the godmen of the West, they have done similar things. So they wear these clothes, the spiritual appearance they create, the spiritual image they create. And this channeling, my dear friends, is also connected to that. Sometimes we feel the channeling is connected only to divine masculine and divine feminine. But a lot of people forget that this whole planet's foundation is actually feminine and masculine. It's based on these two energies. So, my dear friends, I want to tell you guys that the masculine is feeling deep regret and guilt, but at the same time, they are feeling very much aligned. And at the same time, they have more empathy and compassion. All the truth that was conveyed by feminine. The feminine's problem was, I'll tell you, at that point in time, because the feminine's chakras were not aligned, the solar plexus was very weak. Despite knowing the truth, the feminine was not very confident about it. And confidence plays a very important role, because when you're confident, you're not scared of people leaving you or going away from you. You're not scared when people say bad things to you. People will say bad things to you every day. People say bad things to me every day. I'm not kidding. No matter how many things I'll do, people will say something bad. If one thing good will happen, something bad will happen somewhere. It's a part of this world. This reality, this Maya is like that. However, it's very important that you don't stop. The feminine needs to learn this by practical experience, that many people with demonic energy, not just the masculine, but many people around her, in her periphery also, are going to stop her from doing wonderful work, from being herself, from just being, just being real, just being authentic, natural, organic. Many people will stop, and many people would stop the feminine during separation phase, from where the feminine learns to surrender, and from surrender, finally harmonization, illumination, union, singularity, all of that happens. So, at that point in time, feminine knew the truth, but feminine also had fear. What if I tell the truth, this person is going to leave me? And because of that fear, it actually did happen. Because the fear is also a source of energy. From the fear also, so many things happen, right? So, feminine is learning from all of this separation and negative energy thrown at the feminine, how to continue doing whatever they love, how to be themselves, how to be real, without any fear whatsoever. And the masculine is going to realize and learn that there is something divine and spiritual that runs this whole planet, this whole cosmic reality. And love plays such an important part, because love is the bond, love is the main thing, it's the glue that connects all of us with each other. So if the feminine was saying those things, she was saying it